Hello, welcome back to Walkman Phones. This is Paul. Today just wanted to do a little bit of a unboxing of a phone that it wasn't initially pitched as a phone, more as a accessory for your existing phone. We're talking about the Palm phone. Came out late 2018. I should say. It's not the same phone that Palm was making years ago. It's not the same company. As you might remember, Palm was bought by HP back around, let's say 2011 or so. They had previous successes, say success loosely with smartphones. They had the Palm Pre, which was on Sprint and was a really cool phone for multiple reasons. The form factor, the slide out keyboard, but it was really a vehicle more for WebOS, their operating system, which was beautiful and intuitive and easy to use and so many other things, but it just didn't take off because the apps weren't there. And if you don't have apps, when you talk to Windows Phone about that, you're just not going to last. Today's day and age, it's all about Android or iOS, and everything else is fallen by the wayside. So anyways, I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time here talking to you about history. This was bought as an open box model for about $80. I wasn't going to go on the website and spend $300 for what ultimately is kind of a novelty at this point, which hurts my feelings because I've always really liked smaller phones. Back when flip phones and regular feature phones, or whatever you want to call them, were the rage. The smaller the phone was, the cooler it was, and the more advanced you were. And now things have gone completely the other way because we need big screens to watch videos and yada yada yada. I still have a really big spot in my heart for smaller phones, so I wanted to get this and I wanted to show it off a little bit and talk a little bit about just the design and the history of the smaller phones from this camp and from others. So here we go. Like I said, open box. So this is not the official box that you would get from Palm, but that's okay. They got here, they say, look for the SIM tray inside the bag of the phone. Okay. So here we go. Oh, it actually comes with a charger. I'm a little surprised here. All right, so there's the charger. There is the cable for the charger. And here is the phone. And there's the SIM tray, which I need to be very careful. Oh, wow. 2 months of Audible. So that's fun. Okay. I actually still read books, so I'm not really too interested in Audible, but maybe. All right, so here it is. That is the phone. It's tiny. You can see they have the Palm logo in the back. It's different, because it's not the same Palm, obviously, as before. They're just using the name and kind of, riding on the tails of yesteryear. So we'll go ahead and take the plastic off the front, and we'll take, let's see. Yeah, it looks like just a sticker on the back, so we'll leave that alone. We'll see if we can power it up. As you can see, very, very tiny. You can fit it across the length of your fingers. So we'll turn it on. Like I said, I wanted this. This reminded me very much of I had smaller phones, you know, in the past. I used to really like them. Even when, you know, cell phones started to get bigger and smartphones kind of became a thing. I remember, you know, 2011. Instead, see, it's still going to boot up as Verizon because this was sold as a Verizon exclusive to pair with your phone. And much to the surprise of nobody, it did not take off as a phone accessory. So basically what's happened here is they're locked to Verizon at first, and since they didn't take off, they kind of said, you know what, we're just going to start selling these. So that's what they did. And there's no battery life left. Which brings me to another point. Okay. No juice on the phone, and that's the big problem with this phone in general. The battery life's going to be horrid, and you already know it, and I already know it. There's no real way around it. I remember when I had phones like this back then, they were this small, the HP Veer, which was a very small version of the Palm Pre. You know, once HP bought Palm, they made a couple more versions of the Pre phone, and one of them was the Veer, which was very, very tiny. That battery life was horrid. Back when Sony Ericsson was around, before Sony bought out Ericsson, Sony Ericsson had a phone called the Xperia Mini, which was also very tiny like this, and that battery life was horrid. So it's just one of those things you have to live with. If you don't really use a phone all that often, you're not trying to watch videos, and you're trying to, you know, you just want to kind of keep it around just for really, really basic things, you'll be all right. If not, yeah, this isn't for you. So, anyways, me being the masochist that I am, I'm going to try to run this for a while and use it as a phone from day to day. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be quite the step back at a time because, like I said, the last time I had a phone that was this small was roughly 2011. Okay. So it'll be interesting. I've done it before. I think I can do it again. We'll see what happens. But I'll get back to you on this. Just a little bit of the design though here. There's just one button on the entire phone. It's the power button. The volume is all controlled by on screen, you know. It's got a front-facing camera. There's your earpiece right up top. On the back, it has, you know, the flash and the camera. It's kind of got like a gold wrapping on the outside to keep the two pieces of glass together. Nice little gold logo. It's a nice little phone. You know, it looks like a little tiny iPhone. So, yeah, we're gonna see how that goes, and I should be back, you know, not too long from now, let you know what I think of it and the operating system itself. I know it runs a modified version of Android. It's not stock or anything. They kind of had to tweak it to kind of work a little bit better with the size of the device. So I'll let you know where it goes. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you got to get a little bit of a grasp of the history of these smaller phones and you know, why we've gone away from them, and, you know, can something like this be viable nowadays? So yeah. All right, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you in the next video about the Palm phone. Take care.